Hello everybody, I'm back again with another short video. I know it's been a while and I pray to God that you're all are doing well. I just wanted to have a discussion today. Um, like everybody else, I'm watching what's happening on the world stage, and I understand there are a lot of people who are afraid, angry, confused. Um, there's a lot of narratives happening. Um, but one of the biggest things is this battle between good and evil in the world, um, which, well, is the thing, definitely. Um, but I just want to give you my take on it. And with as much love and grace as I possibly can give. Um, Now, we all just saw uh, Donald Trump almost got assassinated. Someone tried to assassinate Putin. In fact, a few people have been shot around the world. Um, this is idea of it's no longer just politics and just people who are depraved spiritually, physically, mentally, you know. Um, there's this idea that we're living in the last days, and Jesus is going to come back. So we have to get prepared for that, and we have to beat Satan, and we have to prevail over evil. Now, I haven't, sorry about that, I have no particular issues with prevailing over evil. I had a video before about Christianity. When I say Christianity, I'm talking about the religion, the religious practice and belief system of Christianity. I am not talking about Jesus Christ. I do not equate Jesus Christ himself and his message with Christianity. And the reason why I don't is because of growing up as a Christian. Um, I wanted to know the truth, and that has led me down many paths. And on these paths, I realized that there has been a lot of lies and half-truths that has been told that has become accepted as the truth. What God has showed me is when Jesus said, "You know them by their fruits." It doesn't matter what someone say, what book they're reading, what version of the Bible they're reading, what version of any book they're reading. You know them by their fruits, you know, and you know yourself by your fruits, you know. And I think if you get to the point where you no longer have 20/20 vision when it comes to see other people's faults, and a zero vision when it comes to seeing your own faults, and that flips where you have 20/20 vision seeing your own faults, and you're more forgiving of other people's faults, uh, we will rise spiritually. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is a simple thing to pray and ask for self-awareness. Now, what I want to say about this good and evil, I was just listening. They talked about it's a battle between good and evil. We have to fight evil. you know. And what I come to know is that, well, actually, it was Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah is the founder of the Baha'i faith. And there was something I read that he said that made perfect sense. And it was consistent. If God, that is the creator of all things, is loving, is true, is all powerful, is the only power, is the only life that we are all expressing, then how can there be an entity called Satan? How can there be a evil power if there's only one power? I had questions about that. There was a lot of confusion to me about that. It seemed to contradict itself. It's like there's this evil force battling a good force. But then we say, but there is only one God that created all things, and all things is that God. So are we saying God is schizophrenic? Are we saying that God is divided? But if it's divided, well, then it's not one, there's two. So, I mean, like all these things, anyway, kept me up many a night for many a years. Go back to what Baha'u'llah said. Baha'u'llah put it better than anybody else that I've come across. Baha'u'llah said there is only one God, and that God is unconditional love. There's only one power, and that is God. There's only one life, and that is God. Everything is God, and it is good. So you may say, well, okay, well, why are there terrible things? I asked that question. I prayed about it. I think the misunderstanding is God gave us freedom of will, freedom of choice. We're not choosing whether to be good or bad. We're choosing how much, or should I say, how good we are. I give you an example. Darkness doesn't exist. Darkness is an absence of light. If you go into a room, a dark room, and you turn on the light, the darkness disappears. If the darkness has substance or was an entity or a thing in itself, it would still be in the room even though you turned on the light. Yeah? So darkness is a lack of light. Hatred is a lack of love. It's not a thing in itself. It's a lack of love. Sorrow is a lack of happiness. Sickness is a lack of vitality of life. Poverty is a lack of abundance. Stress is a lack of peace. So when we spend our lives, generations, thousands of years trying to eradicate something that does not exist, of course we're going to fail. Can you get rid of the emptiness in a glass before you fill the glass up? It's like, I want to get rid of the emptiness in this glass. And then once I get rid of the emptiness in this glass, I'm going to fill it up with water. If I told you I was trying to do that, you would look at me like I was crazy. Wouldn't you turn around and say, Angela, just fill it up with water and the emptiness will disappear? Because the emptiness is a lack of substance. That substance being the water. So when you're trying to battle evil, you're trying to get rid of something that is the condition of a lack of something. You're never going to win. You're never going to succeed because you're trying to get rid of something that doesn't exist in the mind of God. The only way you're going to get rid of hatred in your heart is to fill your heart up with love. That's the only way. It's like trying to get rid of hunger before you eat. The only thing that's going to get rid of your hunger is if you eat. And then once you eat, you're not hungry anymore. Maybe because it's so simple, it doesn't inspire the imagination of humanity, I suppose. You know, it's not full of drama. But it's the only way. It really, really is the only way. The biggest sin I have concluded is poverty. Poverty in soul, poverty in heart, poverty in mind, and poverty physically. If we nourish ourselves from that which we lack, there will be no consequences or effects of the malnourishment of love, of happiness, of joy, of well-being, of peace, because we're nurturing ourselves with it. It's the only way we will become whole and balanced and live in a peaceful world. There is no other way. A war won't do it. More money is not going to do it. Fame is not going to do it. Fame is not going to do it if you are lacking love. Actually, it probably make you feel worse. You cannot have peace by war. You can only have peace, by being peaceful. You can only have goodness by being good. That's it. You cannot be bad and good at the same time. Just like you can't be blissfully happy and miserable at the same time. How come a person can't be blissfully happy and miserable at the same time? It's because misery is the lack of bliss. These things we consider to be evils of the devil, which was a concept that was instituted in the Bible centuries after Jesus walked the earth. Centuries after. The Bible has been revised and edited and bits taken out words inserted, words taken out. And let me tell you, one word taken out of a sentence can change the whole thing. The whole thing. You know them by their fruits. All I'm saying to all of you who are my sisters and brothers, we come from the same source. The same womb that gave birth to us all. All I'm saying to you, I will encourage you not to get caught up in another round of craziness. Fill yourself up with the virtues of spirit. And you don't have to be worried about anything. Nothing at all. And it's here for you. It's here for you. Our Creator wants us to be happy, want us to be healthy, want us to have everything that we require to fulfill our potential when it brought us forth. It's not denying anybody anything. All we have to do is choose it. Choose it. That's all. We ain't got to fight nobody. You can't be filled with peace while you're fighting. Jesus is the Prince of Peace. Jesus didn't pick up a sword and start killing people. He didn't. You want to make your life better? You want to be better? You want to live in a better world? Fill yourself up with the virtues of divine spirit. That's it. It's really simple and easy. But the choice is yours. The choice is yours. But I tell you, you cannot love and hate at the same time. These are the choices. Day by day, moment by moment. Am I going to fill myself up with love? Or am I going to feel the consequences of being malnourished? Am I going to do the right thing, the good thing? Or am I going to feel the consequences? And it isn't God's judgment. It's not a judgment. We're just learning what it is to be filled with the Spirit of God and how it feels when you're not filled with the Spirit of God. And He gave us that choice. That's it. And this whole talk about the rapture and the last days and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, who cares? I mean, at the end of the day, who cares? I'm not going to live forever anyway. If the rapture was today, well, then I go today. If the rapture is in 100 years, well, I'm definitely ain't going to be here. Because I ain't going to live another 100 years. It's not, that narrative has made people crazy. Nuts. Absolutely local. Let's look at the facts and the reality here. We all have a limited amount of time on earth. That's just a fact. We don't need to be waiting for some rapture. You could be gone tomorrow. But what would be the condition of your soul? Are you going to leave here in a better state than which you've come? That's all you have to ask yourself. That's all I ask myself. That's what I promise myself. And I promise the one who gave me life. Let me leave here in a better state of being than which I come. And if I could manage to do that, well, then I'm okay. And how do I do that? By expanding my capacity every day to love, to be kind, to be compassionate, to be good, to be generous, to be forgiving. And it's easy for me to be forgiving because my 2020 vision of myself has come into focus. When you really see your own faults, it's easy to forgive others for theirs. Because you cannot see your own faults and not be honest. Jesus said, all that we need is within us. That's the Spirit of God. Call upon the Lord God. I'm not talking about no God of Israel and no God of this and no God of that. You know what? I don't even have time for that certain nonsense. The only God I know is our Heavenly Father and Mother, because He created all things in His image, male and female. And He created everything. And He created everyone. Everyone. There's no special groups. There are no chosen people. That's an ego trip. We're all loved to the divine creator. And He loves us so much. It doesn't give up on us. It has a faith that I cannot comprehend. Will answer the moment any one of us call. At any time. Any place. No matter what's going on. That is the true God of all. Given us the bounty of its Spirit, which will have all of us in a state of bliss if we would choose it. Don't fight shadows. That which you perceive to be evil, that's the delusion. They are shadows. Like the emptiness in a glass. You don't want to be empty? Fill yourself up with that which is true. And that is the virtue of divine spirit. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I love you all. Till next time. Take care.